Good morning and welcome to the channel. My name is Hunter and I wanted to take you through some of the things that I'm growing here in Central Florida. We used to be zone 9B, now we're zone 10A. But what's really cool is we're fruiting a lot of things that really shouldn't be fruiting too well here in Central Florida. A lot of these, more tropical plants and exotic fruits. Since my name is Hunter, I called this page Exotic Fruit Hunter. I think collecting exotic fruits and some of the lesser known fruits is a big passion of mine. I've been doing it for about 6 years, and I finally started to decide to make a channel just to document it for myself, and if anybody else wanted to join along and enjoy. So that's a little bit about what we're doing out here, and I'm happy to show you. The property here is 7 acres, and it used to be an old orange grove. And with that, for years it was treated with synthetic fertilizers and pesticides, and really just a nightmare. So now, what I've been doing for the last 5 years is, instead of using those, I've been going really heavy with the mulch. You can see under this Cecropia tree, this is called the Gummy Worm Fruit tree, and it fruits pretty well here. Every year it gets hit with some pretty severe cold damage and gets shot back. I have 4 of those trees and all of them are alive, which I'm happy to report. Yeah, so let's show you some other stuff. I've been really pumped up on ice cream beans and growing them. So I have been trying for about 5 years. The first one I planted was the Inga Fuellii, which is that tree over there. And that one fruited before anything. And then I went and I planted this one, which was sold to me as edulous. And it's really hard to tell unless you're looking at the leaves. The edulous leaves are more thin than the Fuellii and have a little bit of a different shape and maybe a little bit of a different color. They're a little bit of a lighter green, maybe light to dark, very shiny. This one made fruits this year for the first time, and that's a really cool achievement for Central Florida, at least. Is not a lot of people I've seen have been growing these. They haven't been too bad with the cold. If you get them past the point of, if you get them to about this thick around on the trunk, they're gonna do fine. Just protect them when they're young. So this is the Inga edulous, and I'll show you the Fuellii over here. Now we are at the Inga Fuellii, and maybe it's hard to see because it's a little dark, it's morning right now. This one has made so many fruits for me over the years. This is a great tree. The fruits are smaller than the edulous. They are just as sweet and really delicious. They're a good snack to have out in the grove. I wait for them to fill up maybe a little bit more than this. They'll get nice and plump, and then you just crack them open and have a little sweet treat. We finally got a nice jackfruit haul this year. It looks like we'll have a fair amount of fruits on here. This is one that's only fruited for me once before, and now it is fruiting again. This tree's been in the ground for probably about 5 years, and we're finally getting to that size that's gonna make some fruits for us. Funny enough, I can't even eat jackfruit because I'm allergic to them. Same thing with mulberry and fruits in that family. Kind of a bummer. So if anybody wants jackfruit, I have a few extra this year. Another cool one I want to show you here in Central Florida is we're finally getting some Rollinias on the tree. This is the largest one. I think there's a couple other on this tree. There's one down here. I have 3 Rollinia trees, maybe 4, that are getting to be a decent size. We get hit with the cold pretty hard every year, usually down into the 30s you can expect. But the Rollinias seem to do okay. Their tolerance is about the same of a sugar apple. So this is one of the Rollinias. This is a Jamun tree here that has just gotten massive and out of control. We have a lemon zest mango, and oddly enough, this one doesn't fruit as well as I would like. The cinnamon tree here, this one hasn't had too many problems with the cold. It's done okay, and now we're getting some seeds on this tree. You'll have to excuse the noise. I live on a lake and there's quite a few seaplanes that just take off and land. One thing I'm excited about is these jaboticabas. I have 2 jaboticabas, one there and one here, and I have waited 5 years, which seems like a lot, but for jaboticabas is about average. And this one finally started making some fruit. I went and I pulled off most of the other fruits. It's kind of dark. This is a Longan, and right now it is just going absolutely crazy with flowers. This variety in particular is called Diamond River Longan, and I've tried quite a few, and this one is my favorite. It has the most flavor out of all of the Longans I've tried. Just really dense, really sweet. A really good variety to get your hands on if you see one for sale. I was lucky enough to just come across one when I was first getting into it. Most of my trees are about 4 to 5, maybe 6 years old. Oh, another note, if you're gonna decide to grow a coconut cream mango, just know they have the worst growth pattern, and they will flop on the ground and get all twisty. The fruit quality is amazing. I think the coconut cream mango is one of my favorites. I do sell mango scions on my Etsy, not from coconut cream. That's a patented variety, so I don't touch that, but I have lots of others. This one is making some fruit, and the only reason I haven't chopped it back yet is because it does have a fair bit of fruit on it. What I'll do is, after it's done fruiting this year, I'm gonna come in and I'm just going to chop this thing back so it can maybe get a better growth pattern. It looks more like a bush than a tree. Mahachinook mango makes an amazing fruit, and this one also has a nice shape to it. You know, I prefer these ones be a little bit higher off the ground. I don't want those to touch the ground too much. Mahachinook is amazing. I want to show you this papaya because we had a hurricane make it lean off to the side, and it is just funny looking. It's got a nice fruit up there right now, but I can't even reach them. But this papaya here is just awesome. It is huge around the trunk, and usually I thought they would have died before this, but this is a thick trunk right here. It's a really good papaya. I think it's maybe just a common red lady or Hawaiian. Maybe it's Jamaican. Some Jamaican guy sold it to me and he didn't know the name, so I just took it, planted it. Some things I'm trying out right now are the green sapote. You know, I'm hoping this one will do better. I just planted not too long ago. You know, they get a little sun damage. The lemon meringue mango I'm really stoked on. I've heard lots of good things about the lemon meringue. Black sapote's fruit out here for me all the time in you know, December-ish. I made this little bench area just so me and my fiance can have a shady spot under the bamboo and the palmetto trees. Yeah. So I just pulled off one of those Inga Fuelii off of the tree, and they make a really nice fruit, you know. This one, it's probably the 3rd or 4th year of fruiting. Lots of seeds, lots of fruit, and they're delicious. They're really sweet. They definitely have like a succulentness to them. You know, they do get large. So if you're living in a smaller space, I've heard of people container growing these, and they do okay. They'll fruit for you. The trees do get really large. You don't need a lot of space to grow a lot of these cool fruits. I've seen people do them, you know, in a smaller setting where they're more manicured. I made the mistake of just planting out this 7-acre grove, probably 2 or 3 acres of it, and over the years it has just become a maintenance nightmare of pulling weeds, and I'm way behind on that, and mowing, irrigation breaks, but I just wanted to test the waters and see. The other thing I need to do is to keep our agricultural status. I need to plant out on the rest of the property. If the property is kind of rectangular, so on the outside here and the other outside, really nothing's planted. I've been planting all my stuff on the inside, and I need to find a crop to plant on the outsides to keep our ag status and hopefully make a little bit of money off the produce. I'm thinking mangoes might do it, but they're so susceptible to anthracnose, and if it gets cold and the blooms get hit, you know. So I'm open to ideas. If anybody has any good ideas of low maintenance tree crops that we could maybe grow in Central Florida, you know, in crappy soil, to be honest, I'm open to suggestions. Comment them below. But yeah, I'll be making a few more videos in the future. It won't be every day. Maybe I can help inspire somebody to plant some cool stuff and maybe learn a thing or two along the way and make some friends. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and subscribe, I guess is what they say. They say to subscribe on the YouTubes. So we'll see. I don't know. Be well. Check out my Etsy shop if you want to help support or find anything you like on there. I've got some cool Keppel plants and alupegs and things like that. It is called Edible Landscaping on Etsy. You'll see a picture of either the plant and a hand next to it with a white background, and that's my shop. Anyways, be well. Oh, last note. I've got these ice cream bananas here. Don't believe the hype around them. The name ice cream on these bananas, there's no point in it. Go ahead and get yourself a Nom Wah. These ice cream bananas, they're good. You know, they're certainly better than a store-bought banana. But you know, they're not as great as I would hope. People say they're delicious. People say they're trash. I think they're okay. They're not too great. Go ahead and get yourself a Nom Wah. Do yourself a favor. Treat yourself. Get a Nom Wah banana if you're gonna grow some. Also, these are two of the other Cecropias I've got here, and they fruit. I've got one, so it's bright. I got one right there, and then one right here. And the fruits are really good, really fun treat for the kids. It's cool to be growing these in Central Florida. I really don't know many other people who are fruiting them here. But again, most people aren't planting these kind of things. I did throw quite a few air layers on it. You can see up in there. So I might have some trees for sale in the near future, maybe 2 or 3 months. But yeah, peace.